All right. Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. Uh, I don't know why things have been out of whack lately. Um, yeah. So I'm sorry. I've been quiet for a couple minutes. My microphone channel on my stream was set to the wrong input. Oh, ow. Why does the screenshot button do that? Ow. Why? I'm going to be very mad at Mojang now. Freaking Bedrock Edition. So today is day 4240 on World 3 of this realm that I play on. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the furthest we've gone in any of the worlds now. I only have 6 levels currently, but I have a lot of cool stuff now. I've got some new farms and stuff, but yeah, I'm glad I noticed that. I was trying to see if I was peeking, and then I realized that, no, I wasn't peeking. I wasn't talking at all. A recent Windows update broke the stream output of Steel 3 Sonar, so I'm having to, instead of routing it to the stream channel, I'm routing it through the output of VoiceMod, because VoiceMod's like output counts as its own audio source. And for some reason, you can route the output of the stream for SteelSeries Sonar through that. Super difficult to explain, but actually, hold on. All right. This is going to be a little wild, but if we look on SteelSeries Sonar, right, and we could see a whole bunch of things over here, but if I click on this button right here and zoom in, you can see that the output is supposed to be for this dedicated streaming thing for Sonar. No, instead, I have to use VoiceMod's output channel in order for that to work properly, for everything to work properly. And so that is why my VoiceMod's broken currently, because of a recent Windows update. It probably just needs a patch for the SteelSeries engine to work, but yeah, currently I can't use everything properly, so I have to do some weird shenanigans, which means sometimes I'll join a Discord call and there'll be like 3 of me. But yeah, but yeah, the first thing I was going to talk about was the Steam controller. The Steam controller got a release date and a price announced a couple days ago on Monday. I was going to stream Monday, but I was asleep most of the day. And then when I wasn't asleep, I was out eating lunch. And so, yeah. So I just didn't have time to stream Monday afternoon. And so, and yesterday I was asleep the entirety of the day. I was also working on an Audacity project for my friend. You guys might see that soon. if I can upload the thing to YouTube without it having a bunch of copyright issues, it'll be freaking awesome. But it uses the base of the entire like mix is the theme of Montreal from an F1 racing game for the PS1. And I added like Space Jam, Crisis City, the results from Smash Ultimate, the Elevator Jam, I think it's called like Weather Report or like Weather Brief or something like that. And then the Buck Bumble theme, and then a existing mashup that I made previously of Objection Funk and Tennis World. And then another one I made. Oh no, the one I made wasn't that one. The Objection World was a YouTube video I found. Because my friend made, or me and my friend did a contest of making Objection Funk and Tennis World. And I found one on YouTube like a little while ago, and I liked that one better than either of ours. So I used that one. And then the remix I did make was from Metallic Madness Bad Feature from Sonic CD and Big Shot from Deltarune Chapter 2. Which I think I called Metallic Shot or something like that. Yeah, Metallic Shot, because Spamton Madness was the other one I made, which was it wasn't the future theme, it was the present theme from Sonic CD for Metallic Madness. Because the Bad Future was used for Now Your Chance to Be Up. But yeah. I got the most random emails. I just got an email from FedEx. It's like, FedEx service alert. It's like, yeah, I haven't got a package from y'all in over a year. Calm down. But yeah. So anyways, the new Steam controller. It'll release May the 4th, so Monday. And it'll be $99. I don't know if that's $99.00 or $99.99. I'm leaning towards $99.00 because they're saying $99 and not $99.99. It could be $99.99, but I just don't know currently. Now, a lot of people are like, that's too expensive for a controller. No, not for that controller. As somebody who just recently bought a new Xbox controller a couple months ago, because my old one started drifting, I spent $70 on the controller. It turned out to be a little bit more than $70 because of taxes. And so for $30 more, you're getting thumbsticks that shouldn't drift, haptic motors, 2 touch pads with their own haptic motors, gyro controls, a charging puck that acts as a wireless dongle with lower latency than an Xbox controller, and a 35-hour battery life. For all of those features for $30 more than an Xbox controller. I mean, I'll take it. I will gladly take it. I know people are comparing the controller to the DualSense. First off, the DualSense has 1 touchpad. This thing has 2. This thing has a 5-hour... Yeah, the DualSense has like a 5-hour battery life compared to the 35 hours of the Steam controller. Not to mention, it's a freaking Steam input controller. So it's going to work natively with your Steam Deck, the GameCube whenever it releases, and the frame as well. But it mostly is a TMR sticks. That's the big thing that people are looking at it for. And easily I'd say that controller is worth $100. Because it has a whole lot of features that standard controllers, like the DualSense, the Xbox controller that I have, and the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, like, none of them have these sorts of features. I mean, the 2 trackpads with their own haptics, the grip sense, the 4 back buttons, also the controller can remember 2 pucks. One of them can be a Steam machine. So it can remember 2 devices for its 2.4 gigahertz connection. And it can also run Bluetooth mode. And all of that's done just inside the controller. So, you know, it's more comparable to the Switch 2 Pro controller. Although it has way more features than that for only $10 more. Honestly, I think besides the removable thumbsticks, there's nothing that the DualSense Edge has over the Steam controller. And the Steam controller, in my opinion, is like probably like feature-wise on par with the old Xbox Elite Series 2 controllers that released back in 2019. And that's 7 years ago now at this point. And I have an Elite Series 2. It's just broke because I used it for 3 years straight. And like, besides the swappable D-pad and thumbsticks, and I guess the profiles feature that's on the controller itself, the Steam controller has pretty much everything and then some. But yeah, there's so much that the Steam controller has that it justifies the price. Because in my opinion, there's 3 types of controllers. 4 if you include like weird entry-level third-party things. But most people are not buying those like cheap things for themselves. They're going to buy a more expensive controller for themselves. So there's 3 price ranges basically. There's the $50 to $75 range, or whatever the Joy-Cons are, but they're basically a 2-pack. And that is, so it's like a $40 to $80 price range, and this will include the Switch 2 Joy-Cons individually or together. I don't remember what they cost together, but I think individually they're like $50. The Xbox controller at $70, the DualSense at $75 or whatever it costs. I think it's $75. It could be $80 now. But yeah. So $80 for that. And so you have all these controllers, and they're basically standard. And then you get to the advanced category, which is your $80 to $150-ish price point. That's going to be your original Elite controller. That'll be the Steam controller is in that price point. The Switch 2 Pro controller, and a whole lot of third-party controllers that are also sort of in this price range. This is when you start including like the back buttons, and all sorts. Just a whole lot of extra controller features. And the Steam controller, in my opinion, is like the best for that price point, and it's not even the most expensive. So, there's going to be a new meta for controllers in the coming years after the Steam controller, because I do believe that the Steam controller will have a pretty big adoption rate, unlike the original Steam controller, I should say. And here's another thing. And once you get past the $150-ish barrier, that's where you start getting into the quote-unquote pro controllers. This is your DualSense Edge. This is your Elite Series 2. And a lot of people are comparing the Steam controller to those, and it's not. It's an in-between. It's the mid-grade. It's not your basic first-party console controller, but it's also not your DualSense Edge or Elite Series 2. What it is an advanced controller. And the things that it packs into that, it's just awesome. Awesome battery life, too. I know the TMR sticks help with battery life a little bit, but the biggest power draw is the haptics. Gamers Nexus did like a stress test where they had like both the thumbsticks pressed in with a rubber band, and it was just constantly pinging the like the PC, and it lasted for like 4 freaking days before it died. And then it died, and it still had a little bit of residual power left, So when they turned it back on after it died, it lasted for another 10 minutes before it died again. I mean, that is some insane battery life. If you're able to pull like 3 days out of a controller when it has like no vibration or haptics or gyro, that is insane. And so, yeah, I do believe that the 35-hour battery life claim is not only feasible, but that's like average to like above average use case scenario. Like that is like you have Rumble and you're using the controller in like separate shifts for like 2 or 3 days straight. And because charging the controller is just as simple as putting it on top of this little puck and a puck magnetizing to it, you're pretty much never going to run out of battery life with that controller. And the only controller I could compare to the Steam controller for battery life wise was the Elite Series 2 with its 40-hour battery life. Let me tell you, I got a lot more than 40 hours out of the Elite Series 2 in a lot of cases. But yeah, the Steam controller is going to be a really, really cool controller. I'm gonna buy it day one if it'll let me. If I manage to get to the website in time, because I just said May 4th, they didn't say when May 4th. But yeah, I will definitely spending my not so hard-earned money on that. Because like the problem is my computer's Bluetooth is not working right for some reason. So I kind of can't use Bluetooth, and I don't want to get like a dongle for an Xbox controller just so I can use it wirelessly, because I still have an Xbox and I want to use that. So I think the plan going forward is for me to use the Xbox controller if I need an X input controller, and then the Steam controller will handle basically the vast majority of anything anymore. And that's going to be crazy. And because the Steam controller, minus the touchscreen, obviously uses the exact same layout as a Steam Deck, a whole lot of games already have controls for that natively, and the ones that don't, people have made controls for it. Which means that you're not going to run into a whole lot of issues right off the bat with the Steam controller for certain games. And here's the really cool thing. Because it's the Steam input controller, games that do not have any controller support and games that don't have like Steam Deck compatibility, you could just make your own you can make your own control scheme and just have it work. And because you can just run games through Steam, guess what? Now you can use your Steam controller to run Minecraft Java Edition. Or you can also use your Steam controller to play like Deadlock or something with a gyro aim. And so that's what I'm going to start doing, is I'm going to start testing out using the Steam controller with certain games. If I can use it with Team Fortress 2, that'll be crazy. Because you'll be able to bind all sorts to the Steam controller. Imagine using the Steam controller to play Team Fortress 2. Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, people have like Steam Controller 1 binds for TF2. Like, they managed to make that work competitively. So I bet the Steam Controller 2026 is going to be pretty useful for Team Fortress 2. There's a game that I have downloaded to my computer, and I never played it. I might have opened it just to make sure it'll work on my computer, but I've never actually gone through it, and that's Aperture Desktop. And that's one of the main reasons why I want the Steam controller, is because I'm not going to get the Steam Deck, because I kind of can't really use it. Because of my vision, I need larger screens. And the Steam Deck just isn't something that I can comfortably use, which is a big shame. But the Steam controller is something I can use with my computer. So that's awesome. And there's so many ways that you can use the Steam controller. The amount of things that people are about to like do with the Steam controller is going to be insane. There's no way around it. The Steam controller is going to probably be a revolution for controller-based PC gaming. And I'm here for it. I know a lot of people are mouse and keyboard purists, and they're going to remain mouse and keyboard purists until the end of time. There's no really stopping those people, but in my opinion, you shouldn't have to be forced to use a mouse and keyboard for every single game on PC. And with this new Steam controller, a lot of people are going to use controller, because you're having an influx of people coming into the PC space now, because console gaming is getting more expensive than PC gaming now. I mean, all the games are the same price, and you're paying the same price for a lower quality product overall because of limitations. Not to mention, you're paying at least $10 a month, if not more, for just to be able to play online games online. On these consoles. And so a lot of people are like, well, why not just get a PC? And so they're leaving their entire PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo library behind. Well, not really the case for Xbox, because a lot of Xbox games you can just pick up and play on your PC. But that's if you get a Windows PC. And the barrier to entry for PC gaming is still fairly expensive. I mean, it's still more expensive than a console is at the moment. But once you have a PC, then it's cheaper. You don't have to play. You don't have to pay a freaking subscription. Ugh. I need a drink. Ugh. I should have done this before I went live. This is the type of shit you forget to do when you haven't streamed in 2 months. You forget all your pre-stream prep. Well, as I mix my flavor into my water, I forgot to get myself some water before I started a stream. Before I do anything that requires a whole bunch of talking, I always get water, but I just forgot to. Because it's been a couple months since I streamed. There's been a lot of things going on personally. Here at the house, and I didn't want that to affect me too much, so I just decided not to stream. And then I was like, why am I still paying for Streamlabs Ultra when I haven't streamed in a month? So yeah. I think I was mainly looking to get rid of some expenses by that point. I'll think about it again. I don't know. Because, like, it's either $27 a month or $180 for an entire year. And I don't know. I feel like that's a lot to ask for just the ability to stream on 2 platforms at once. I mean, I also get a bunch of other stuff as well, but I don't use all of it at the moment. And I don't get any money from live streaming, so and I think eventually I would. It's just I'd have to figure out how the PayPal business stuff works. That way I could set up like a private thing that's not connected to myself personally. But that I'll have to figure out in the future. Nice cold water. But yeah. Now, I think I'm gonna like the Steam controller. I'm not going to know until I get it, but I am going to get it as soon as possible. I might be able to buy it day one, but the sooner or the later I buy it, the later I'm gonna get it. So hopefully I can get it. But yeah. Now, next up, PlayStation. Being PlayStation. I'm not a PlayStation gamer. I've never owned a PlayStation. Probably never will. But PlayStation is the biggest console currently. The Nintendo Switch is a handheld, so it doesn't fucking count. Neither does a Switch 2. You all are freaking plebs. And if you want to include handhelds, then the Game Boy has sold more units than the PS5 or whatever. Because the Game Boy has well over 100 million units sold. I don't remember what the DS had, but I think it was close. But yeah. But a lot of people, all the console gamers are PlayStation guys. And PlayStation just added, or they're adding DRM to their games. Almost 13 years after they were mocking Microsoft for the exact same thing. Back with the Xbox One E3 reveal. The whole TV. Yeah. That was something. Frickin' Dawn Magic. But yeah. It's kind of funny. PlayStation is sort of going down the drain currently. Meanwhile, Microsoft is, or I should say Xbox, because it's no longer Microsoft Gaming. It is now Xbox again. Freaking hooray. And with their cool new logo. I mean, so far, Xbox seems to be in a state of revival with the new leadership of Ashish Sharma. And everyone was doubtful of her because of her background. Like, she had literally no gaming experience before she became the CEO of Xbox. And then, but so far, I mean, fingers crossed. I just popped both of my fingers doing that. But fingers crossed, this isn't just a fluke and things continue to improve over there, over at Xbox, because I want Xbox to succeed. I don't have a stake in it. I mean, I kind of do. I have an Xbox, but and I have a library of games on Xbox, and I'm probably not going to get the Helix or whatever it is because I have nowhere to put it, and two, I think it's going to be like $1,200. I'd rather get a GameCube than a Helix box. Because, I mean, if I want to play Xbox games, that I could play it on my Xbox, and all the games that are also on PC, well, I have a more powerful PC than what the Helix is going to be. Because there's no way in hell that the next generation Xbox releasing next year, most likely, is going to be as powerful as my computer for less than $2,000. Now, maybe like a couple rungs down from my computer, but like, no. Like, I have a 4070 Ti Super, which is basically an underclocked 4080, and a Ryzen 7 7700X, which is a pretty good CPU as well. It's basically a 14th gen i7, if I remember right, without the exploding bits. Neither of these components are overclocked. I don't overclock any of my things. I want them to last a few years, so yeah. Now, here is the cool thing. A while ago, yeah, but 32 gigs of RAM. I could see the Helix having 32 gigs of RAM, but if the Helix has similar performance to my computer, I'm still not going to get it because I already have my computer. And it works just fine. And all the games that I have on my Xbox are Xbox One games, technically. So they run just fine on my Series S. So I don't need the Helix box. I have no reason for it. Now, if it comes with a new controller, and if that new controller is backwards compatible with the Xbox Series systems, I might get the controller, but I'm not going to get the box. And a similar thought process went through my head for the new Steam Machine, right? Because the Steam Machine, while it's 6 times as powerful as a Steam Deck, it's still like less than a third the power of my computer. It's actually, no, it's like a fourth, because it's about as powerful as a PS5. So it's 2.5 times the power of my Series S, but a quarter of the power of my PC. Which means, I'm not going to get a whole lot out of it, unless I want to use it to run a Minecraft server or something. But that's the problem, is like I'd have to figure out use cases for it. And I feel like that's just not going to be a decent thing for me to do currently. But I'm not going to be super pessimistic about it. I might, if I can figure out a way that I could host a Minecraft server on Linux, that would be freaking awesome. And the Steam machine would be, technically it would be overkill, but I could run a Minecraft server on the thing. And that, not just a Minecraft server, I can do a whole lot of cool stuff because it's powerful enough. I mean, it's about as powerful as a PlayStation 5. It might have slightly more power in some areas. It might have slightly less, but I mean, it's a newer architecture CPU wise in the PlayStation 5. It has, I believe, more RAM, 16 gigs of DDR5 memory and 8 gigs of GPU memory. VRAM, that's what it is, VRAM, video memory. So 16 gigs of system memory and 8 gigs of video RAM, which means that it's not unified and that it's separate, which is neat. It's also more than the PS5's entirety of 12 gigs of unified RAM. And so I think I might get it. If it's not super expensive, I think I might get it. I obviously wouldn't get it day one because I don't think I'd be able to save enough money to get it day one, because it'll be expensive. But that'd be a really cool thing to do, is to get that and use it. Because having a secondary computer could be awesome. I mean, the big thing though is like finding more and more use cases for it, because like what I will get it for isn't its primary use case, but Steam Machine is a PC, so you can do whatever you want with it. I mean, that is something as well. Plus, since it's like a console-like form factor, that means it's going to use less than like 200 watts, so I could stick it literally anywhere in the freaking house. It'll most likely end up being in my room though. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I might buy one. It's going to take several months of saving on my end to do, though. but I think I can do it. Hold up, I will be right back. Alright. That was not as crazy as I thought it would be. It's been so long I forgot most of my stream binds. But yeah, as I was talking about earlier with the Steam machine, it's gonna be probably like $800, which that's gonna be for me 4 months of hard saving. Yeah, which means it's probably not going to be worth it in my opinion. Who knows? It could go on sale for Christmas. But yeah. It's going to be a pretty hard buy for me specifically. But I have an idea. Now, whether I'm able to work on that idea is going to be a very hard task. But I could ask for money for Christmas. That could be something. Birthday's coming up also in June. It's just over a month away. But yeah. But beyond that, sorry, I was looking at something on my phone. Beyond all that, I want to say that the Steam machine, especially, is going to be something cool, because eventually I think eventually I will be able to get it. It's just, a matter of what I'd have to do. I'd basically have to not buy any games, not do any upgrades or do things for my room or setup, not go out and eat lunch, which means not buying anything when I go on walks. I just not do anything, because if I like completely like I just don't buy anything I don't need. Let's see. 70, 260 plus. This is 26. So that's basically $300. Which means roughly $350-ish. A little bit less than that, actually, probably closer to 300 would be like the total amount I'd be able to save at a time. Which, that'd make me be able to buy a Steam machine in 3 months of saving. But that is 3 months of torture. Ooh. Oh crap. Dropped my controller. That's the other thing I want the Steam controller for, so I could be freaking wireless. But yeah, like $100 for the Steam controller, in my opinion, that is very, very much worth it for everything you're getting in that controller. And even I would honestly pay $120 for a controller like that, just because of everything that it has that this Xbox controller here doesn't. But I will gladly take it for $100. I know several months ago, nearly half a year ago now at this point, actually, when I did a previous, just talking to the Ether stream, I said that I wasn't just gonna buy the Steam controller just to have a Steam controller. If it was like $100, and I'd buy it. If it was like, I'd buy it day one. If it were like $80, but obviously nowadays in today's environment, the Steam controller having its own release date, and it's not with the Steam frame or Steam machine, that means that one, more people are going to be buying the Steam controller day one, or less. I mean, the hype will be the same, but also, I got a raise in the amount of money I get each month. Basically, there was some shenanigans a year ago when I got applied for the SSA or whatever the frick it is now. And they were only giving me like $500 a month. Now they're giving me $660. Which means half of that's going to bills. Just monthly expenses. And the other half usually gets split between food and stuff. But yeah. Steam controller is definitely taking up part of that. And that is fine by me. But here's another cool thing, right? Oh, also phantoms. I built the windows that way phantoms won't get people, because people don't know how to frickin' sleep. Oh, they don't have that feature where you can just press the control button and it will shut your narrator up. But when it comes to various things, when it comes to my brain is not working today, as you can clearly tell. But for example, the Steam controller, I think a lot of people have their eyes on the Steam controller, but they're going to wait for the everyday person to get their hands on it. And I'm going to make my review as a visually impaired gamer of the Steam controller. I'm going to do that. It'll be my very first official Giga Phantom product review. And that's going to be really cool. Because I have some plans. Now, how likely are those plans to come into fruition? I don't know. But plans are plans. But yeah, what else? There are a couple other things I want to talk about. The PlayStation DRM, I did talk about that. Yeah, now Xbox is the one that doesn't have DRM, and PlayStation is the one who is having DRM. It's wild times we're living in. PlayStation's on the down and Xbox is on the up. As much on the up as Xbox can be currently, there's still a lot of things that need to be done in order for the general public to like Xbox again. Which is sad, but it is the truth. Oh, I wanted to talk about what I believe the future for console gaming is. So what we'll see for the 10th generation of consoles, and I think the PlayStation 6 is going to get left behind. I do think that between the Steam Machine, the Helix, the Steam Deck, the Switch 2, and the PlayStation 6, there's handhelds, there's PC console hybrids. So there's handhelds, which are their own market. I could say they're portables, because they're not really handheld anymore. They're portables. So you have portable consoles, and now we have hybrid PC consoles, hybrid things. People call it like a gaming system for the living room. But you have these hybrid PC console things, which we're getting a Steam Machine, and then we're going to get the Helix. And they're coming in at two different price ranges, two different performance ranges. That's if Microsoft is only releasing one SKU of them. I doubt they're only releasing one SKU of them. They might release a lower power version. That might be like equivalent to the Steam Machine. And so we could see a battle on that front. We'll also have a much more powerful box as well. And let's see, the Series X is 12 teraflops. I could see the smaller Helix box being close to that 12 teraflop range. Probably a little more, maybe like 15 or 16. Just so that way it's more powerful than the Series X. And I could see that releasing for like $600. Now they can push that down to like $400. That'd be cool, but I doubt in this economy that's going to happen. But another thing, their more powerful one, that's going to be, people are saying $1,200. I doubt they're going to go past $1,000. I think they're going to have it be $1,000. Let's have it be $999.99 for a PC that can play Xbox games. And it's something. It's a Windows box. It's an Xbox box. it is a thing that exists. And I think there will be interest in it, but who knows? Oh, the more powerful one, I'm gonna say, probably like 30 teraflops. If I remember right, my GPU has 44 teraflops in it. Or like the equivalent of it. Because it's a 4070 Ti Super, so I think it is 44. I don't think it's 40. I think it's 44. Which means that my computer is roughly 11 times as powerful as my Series S. And so I think they're probably going to run the Xbox machines, the smaller one, at a similar performance to the Series X, so roughly 12-ish teraflops. And then the bigger one will probably run at 24 to 30 teraflops equivalent. So 2 to 2.5 the power of the smaller one and the Series X. Now, whatever the PlayStation 6 ends up having power-wise, that would be interesting. I doubt it's going to... Like, I doubt the PlayStation 6 is going to have more than 30 teraflops of power. If it does, it's going to be a very expensive box. People are underwhelmed about the performance of the Steam machine. But Valve is using off-the-shelf parts. And when you're using off-the-shelf consumer parts, you can only get so much out of it instead of using like discrete parts. But who knows? Maybe Valve can get custom parts from AMD. Like actual custom hardware, not just custom versions of consumer grade product. But like actual custom discrete hardware built specifically for like a Steam Machine Pro or something. I doubt that's going to happen though. Oh, that's right. The other thing was the frame. So obviously, we all know now that we can all tell that the Steam Machine and the Steam Frame have been delayed. They were supposed to release probably around this time as well, that the Steam controller was releasing, but because of the freaking Ramageddon, whatever you want to call it, the Valve can't get RAM for their hardware, so they'll have to delay their hardware until RAM prices become less volatile, probably become a little cheaper as well. That way, when they release these consoles, these bits of hardware, I should say, they're not DOA. I really as much as I want the frame, I don't think I can get it for two reasons. One, my room is too small. The ceiling is only 6.5 feet off the ground, and I can touch it without even having to let go on my tippy toes. And so imagine holding a remote control that it protrudes up from your hand a couple more inches, and it'll be hit against the ceiling. And also, my room is 20 feet long, or I think it's 19 actually. It's 19 feet long, but it's only 7 feet wide. And so that'll be another space constraint. So I'd have to either move out of my room or literally just stick things in other places, which might be something I would do, but I don't know. Oh, I could combine the power of the Steam frame and Steam machine. I don't know. As much as I want the Steam machine or Steam frame for wireless PC VR. Oh. Sorry, my brain is blanking again. Yeah, because there's a million things I want. But yeah, I don't know what the frame is going to cost. It's probably like $700, $800. Which means more saving up. That and or begging people for money, which I don't like doing. But yeah, they're gonna have to move before I get the Steam frame. Although that might happen sooner than I think. Basically, to give you a sort of rundown, but a not super invasive rundown of our situation. Our house was designed to last about half a century, and it was built nearly 100 years ago, which means the house is practically falling apart. Not actually falling apart for the most part. There are some places where it is literally falling apart. It's becoming less and less livable as time goes on, and we are trying our hardest to maintain the situation. It's just, it's becoming more than what our family is capable of handling. And so we're seeing if we can get a deal in place to basically up and move somewhere. Now, I have no clue how the hell I'm gonna get my desk out of my room. Because it is, it's 5.5 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 4.5 feet tall, I think. And my door does not support any of those dimensions. So I'm probably going to figure out a way to... Actually, it can disassemble pretty easily. Yeah, I could probably just unscrew... I think all I'd have to do... Yeah, I think all I would need to do is unscrew 2 screws, and then my desk will come in half. And that means that the minimum width I'd have to contend with is 1.5 foot, which that's very manageable. Which means my chair would probably be harder to get out. Actually, no, that can also probably like be shrunken down. If you're wondering why sometimes you hear skeletons dying, spider jockeys. Because, yeah, spider jockeys can appear in a spider farm, which is funny. I don't know if that's a Bedrock only thing, but yeah. Ah! Sorry, my jaw half cramped when I was yawning. But yeah. Alright, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. Hold on, let me look at something. Didn't know I started right at 10:30. That's interesting. Oh, that's cool. Didn't know it showed that on Discord. All right. So, yeah. I mean, if I can get my hands on a Steam frame, that'll be awesome. The thing is, I don't need a Steam machine. I don't need a Steam frame. I just about need the Steam controller though. So that's my priority, and that's most people's priorities is a Steam controller. But yeah, I will do a review on that. Mostly from a low vision standpoint. But yeah. Anyways, I am tired as shit. My brain is not working right today currently. So I'm gonna go ahead and end stream here. I get some shut eye, even though it's just past noon. Yeah. But anyways, I will see you guys probably next week. I don't plan on streaming regularly again for a pretty good while, until I can get more things sorted out. But I could find time. Yeah. Anyways, I will see you guys.